all of the viewers knew I was pregnant, and were offering their well wishes. And it was when I was diagnosed. Our daughter was diagnosed with anencephaly, about 14 weeks pregnancy, which is a 0% chance of survival diagnosis. About 85% of pregnancies are terminated with that condition. We chose to carry her full term. And so, as you mentioned, that led to a very surreal experience of me continuing to anchor the news every night, growing with the condition of anencephaly. Everything grows normally, except for the skull of the baby just does not close fully. And so it's a good chance that the baby will survive full term. And we realized we might even have some time with her, which we did. We got 21 minutes. But it led to an absolutely profound journey for us, both in the public eye and our personal faith.
And when you look at the public eye, obviously there was a decision that you and your husband made, and that decision was to choose life.
Yeah.
And that's counterintuitive, as you well know, for many in the world. So how did that decision really resonate, as you see it, with the viewing public?
I realized the confusion that is so pervasive when it comes to suffering. Our culture specifically is so accustomed to protecting against suffering at all costs. And so our decisions that we make surround protecting against suffering. And so when you look at an example of choosing life versus termination, people think that choosing to end a pregnancy will protect you from potential hurt or devastation. But what we found was the complete opposite. It allowed us to experience life in its fullness, even in death. And we got to experience that the provision and the power of God that comes and just soaks in you during times of suffering. And we realized what a devastation it would have been for us had we missed out on that by trying to protect against hurt. And so that also kind of led to just this new revelation of suffering and what God can do in and through us in it.
Culture-wide, and that is such a tremendous observation, we are looking for decisions that will lead to our convenience.
Yes.
We are suffering averse as a culture. And so therefore, and what a tremendous opportunity it has for believers to embrace suffering, to call attention to God, and really to be a testimony to the world about how we as believers in Christ can respond to suffering. It's truly something, well, you could say otherworldly, but as Jesus said, my kingdom is not of this world.
That's right. We experienced supernatural power. We experienced spiritual access. We experienced just incredible peace that truly transcended all of our understanding. And it was like after we walked through our fire and realized, wait a second, we weren't burned. And in fact, we are forged. Our faith is stronger. Our marriage is stronger. Like, what happened here? We realized that, as Christians, we were settling for something much less than the gospel of Jesus Christ offers us here and now, this side of heaven. And it was really the suffering. It was the heat of the fire that unlocked things in us that we would have been content to have kept locked away, I think, forever. But it's in the heat of suffering that these seeds of revelation are unlocked within us, and it sprouts this hunger. And it's just this profound hope. And really, when I was writing this book, I was like, how do I lead people in suffering to hope? And I had to realize, well, hope is really based on the indestructibility of truth. And so this book took a very truth-heavy turn. And in fact, as I was writing it, I thought, I had a lot of conversations with God. God, this feels like a lot. This feels heavy. This feels like, are people really going to want to read this? And so gently, he just said, it is in truth that comfort comes. And so this book is a book about the truth of suffering and what God can do through what the enemy means for evil, what he can do for our good. It is profound, it is redemptive, and it leads to freedom that is inexplicable.